I was born in Mexico and the state of Nuevo Leon. At the age of 5, we got our passports and immigrated to the United States. My mom, my dad, and 9 children. I was raised, the rest of my life I was raised here in the United States. We're migrant workers. We traveled from all the way to Virginia to California, Amarillo, Texas, Nebraska, Florida, a lot of states. We went back and forth with all my siblings. My mom ended up having 14 children, 13 alive. There was a lot of good times, a lot of hard times. I tend to dwell on the good times. My dad wasn't a very good provider. He didn't like to work very much. He was just on the lazy side, but he took care of us. He was a dad. We knew that no one could harm us. No one would dare get near us to try to do anything or harm us. Or he did a lot of things to my mom because he was very abusive. Like I said, he wasn't a very good provider, but he was our dad. And we felt protected by him. My mom was a very soft, gentle-spoken woman with a lot of morals, sometimes too many. She had a tendency of always correcting us. Always had to be proper. Don't show your faults in front of anybody. You always had to go around being correct and being right. And 1964 settled down here in the valley in Orosi, and we worked hard in the field. We worked very hard. If that house had food, it was because we were working. But my mom always gave us courage. My mom always gave us ánimo. The wanting to do things. And I remember my sister and I worked one summer, and the first week that we got our check, we promised ourselves it was going to be Mother's Day. And we promised ourselves we were going to get her a wedding band. She never had a wedding band. She'd been married for almost 30 some years, and she didn't have a wedding band, so we got her a wedding band. My sister and I, with that check that we made, we were so proud. My biggest wish since I was a little girl was to have someone to love me. And I finally did. Finally, when I was 20 years old, I met my husband. It was wonderful. I thought it was too good to be true. And he ended up loving me for what I was. And that was something that nowadays you don't find that. Someone to love you no matter what. The fact that we still communicated and formed a family, 5 kids, it's hard. But we finally did it. We overcame hardships. Working out in the field was no fun. It was no fun. It was very hard. Well-rounded children is what I wanted, and well-rounded children is what I got. It was hard. It was a lot of sacrifices. I raised my grandchildren the same way I like to believe I did. They fulfilled me in a way I don't even imagine. I could have imagined it. I thought I was going to be one of these grumpy, nagging grandmas, And no, I ended up being a mushy, loving, caring grandma that if they come over here and they sit on a mud puddle and they get all muddy, I don't care. If they're having fun, I'm having fun with them. Been camping with them, I'll do anything as long as they're happy and fulfilling themselves in the joys of life because they're only little ones. Because we didn't live when we were little. We were too busy surviving the harshness of this world that I am so happy that one of the things my grandchildren have known now is that joy and happiness of life, where we didn't. But we didn't know any better back then. We didn't know any better. We didn't know there was Disneylands and rides and fun and movies. We didn't know. And my grandchildren are so fulfilled and so wonderful. If you ask me, all 12 of them are wonderful. And I love them. Live life to the fullest. Be who you want to be. Don't let no one hinder you. You fly. You got wings, you can fly. You know, this world, we live in a country that we are so grateful, because I can go back and look how we lived in Mexico before my mom and dad came here. And I thank God that we did come here. Because if we would have stayed over there, we wouldn't all of us 13 that we are alive, would have been alive. So young kids nowadays, one, they take life too seriously. They're always wanting to press themselves for things that sometimes might not matter. Live and be happy. You know, if something doesn't make you happy, change it. You're within your power to change. You are happy because you want to be happy. You're miserable because you want to be miserable. It's who you are and who you want to be. So I can tell you, I've been in the back feeling miserable for myself, feeling sorry for myself, feeling bad for myself, and saying to myself, why should I? I can feel happy, I can feel glad, I've accomplished, I've done. So I've been on both sides. You choose, it's up to you. You can soar the mountains, you can swim the oceans, you can do anything you want basically in this world. You just have to have the strength and the vision to see yourself.